really proud of our guys today. Just a really good win. We talked about going out there and playing at full speed, pedal to the metal, trying to be dominant, and those guys really showed out today. Really proud for our players. It's great to see a lot of young guys play. The future looks bright for some of those guys. Very, very impressed with them as well. So good win, way to bounce back from a close one last week. We had talked about it all week, and so really happy for our guys. With that said, questions?
Coach, obviously 73 points of good offensive performance, but you shut those guys out, first shutout for this program since 2011. A lot of good teams to that stretch. What can you say about the job Tyson Summers and those guys have done so far, and what do you think led to that success today?
Well, I tell you, he's done a fantastic job, and the whole defensive staff, the players have bought in. When I hired Tyson, I knew what I was looking for in that style of play and attacking style of defense. We play a lot of guys, and still early in the season, but that's what I'm looking for defensively from us, and I knew he'd be a great fit for us. And so he's doing a really, really good job. But what I was really happy about, we complimented each other today. We make a great stop, we turn around and score, and I hadn't seen us compliment each other like that all season, and so that was great to see today.
Coach, when it comes down to, you got to see your back quarterbacks come into the game. How did you feel about quarterback 2 and 3, and how did you feel they play as a gut reaction?
Yeah, good question. I thought Darius did a really good job on the first drive, made a great throw on third down from the touchdown. Easton Messer's first snap of college football is a touchdown, so that's great to see. Darius did some really good things. Made a nice check or two out there, so that's good that, he could see those things. Wish we didn't have the interception, but, he's a young guy trying to develop, and we wanted to watch him play. It was good to see Caden Belkin. Thought he did a really nice job managing the offense. The guy I was really impressed with at the end was LT Sanders. We were just trying to get out of the game, and, man, he was playing at a different speed. And so that's really, really good for him, and we're excited about the future for those young guys.
Kind of going back to the main guy, Austin, 5 TDs by halftime. Probably if there was one knock I had heard about him was his completion percentage. I think he completed 83% of his passes this week and 76.7 against Indiana last week. What can you say about his progression and what he brought to this group?
Yeah, just he's a great leader for our football team. I've coached a lot of quarterbacks, so I have high expectations. So he did his job today. And Officer Reed's supposed to go out there and do that, and that's expected of him. But really happy that he is our quarterback. He had a really, really good day today. He just does a great job of leading the football team. And so long as he's out there, you always feel like you're gonna go win. And so it was good to see him and his performance today. But he's expected to do that. If you want to be an elite player, you better play elite ball, and he did today.
Coach, kind of talking about the offensive line, it seems like Austin Reed was pretty clean all day, and then he had that one play where he felt like he was in the pocket for like 2 hours and then found Dalvin Smith in the back of the end zone. Kind of just talk about the guys up front and how important that is.
Well, the offensive line all season has done a great job of protecting Austin. Really just a carryover from last year. Those guys gel together really well. They're doing a really good job in the run blocking. That was probably a dynamic we worked really hard on in the offseason. We felt like we had to get better in the run game to soften the defenses. They're doing a really good job of controlling the offense, the line of scrimmage. And, you got some veteran guys in there. Rusty Stats playing great football. Gunnar Britton's playing great football. You got Tick over there. And young Mark Good, left tackle, first year to start. He's doing really good. And then here comes Vinny. Vinny's a transfer. We thought when we lost Ben, the right guard last year, we would maybe struggle in that position. Vinny's playing high-level football right now. So I'm really proud of all 5 of those guys. And, we're going to face some really tough football teams that have some great front fours. And those guys, they need to continue to step up.
Tyson, last week's game, when you get the better of some teams, you guys obviously didn't let that happen to you. Did you have a good feeling about that going into today?
I did, yes, sir. We talked about it all week. We talked about, win, lose, or draw. You have 24 hours to either celebrate a win or try to correct the mistakes you did when you lose a game. But our guys practiced really well all week, and they had their jaw set, had a great look in their eye. They needed to go out there and get that other one behind them, and just I can't say enough about how they responded. They responded exceptional.
This win has to be a big statement to the rest of the conference after a huge first conference win for you guys.
I don't know if it's a statement. No, no, it's not a statement in my opinion, because every week's a new week, and you know we got to get better as a football team. You know, we'll look at this film and there'll be a lot of things we need to correct. This league is highly competitive every week. You know, you have no idea what's going to happen. We will have a really, really tough opponent next week in our non-conference with Troy. It's going to be a hard-fought football game. And so this was good to say, hey, we feel really good about ourselves. But like I said, when we walk back in this building tomorrow, it's over and done with, and we got to get ready for Troy and have our mind right and have our jaw set ready to play them.
You know, Malachi kind of got you guys going with that big touchdown, 70-something yards. Then you probably had 15 or so big plays throughout the game where you could pick up good chunks of yards. Was there a point where you figured or thought that this was going to be the day where you're connecting on all those?
Yeah, I had a good feeling. You know, it was great to see the perimeter screen RPO game hit early, and Malachi was running at a different speed. I mean, he was breaking tackles all over the place, running fast. So we knew early on if that combination of RPO, get the ball out of the perimeter to talented players. I loved how we spread the ball around all day. It was great to see the tight ends get plenty of catches today as well. So yeah, right out of the gate it felt good. The only thing that's disappointed me is I think we had a 3 and out right on the first drive. And we talk about starting fast. That's one thing we got to do is when we get the ball in our first series, we need to go score. And haven't done that yet, and that's something we need to work on for sure.
Coach, football is all about highs and lows. Last week was a low. This week is a huge high. How do you guys balance that going in the rest of the season?
We talk about our team has always, been in a lot of arenas. They've experienced a lot of things. I try not to talk about, like last week when we lost to Indiana, we had our team meeting. We had our position meetings. When we walked out on the field at walkthrough and all those things, I had a big smile on my face. I was joking with the guys and all that. And I think that kind of lets them go, hey, that one's over and done with. Now we're going to turn the page and get ready for, the next opponent. And so you got to, as a head coach, find that balance. And at the same time, you got to stir the pot. I stirred the pot a little bit this week to try to poke and prod some guys. And I think of a Malachi Corley, he responded pretty good. I thought Austin Reed responded pretty good. O-line did a great job. So we got some mature guys. And the good thing about young people, when you coach them, wins and losses, they clear out pretty quickly. They just get ready for that next win. And so it's our job as a staff to make sure they just stay on track and their minds right.
I know you were able to mix some guys in the secondary, pretty early in this one, but early on up to Stout over by Tyrese Chambers. Limited him to, I believe, 1 catch, 2 yards after the catch today. What can you say about the job he did on one of the best receivers in the league?
Yeah, he was great. That was a big third down too, and I thought he had caught it. And Upton was able to get his hand in there, knock it down. It was a huge momentum drive for us, and Upton's playing good football. But I can name a ton of guys on defense. So we've rolled so many guys, and to watch how many guys are making plays out there. The fact that we're getting to play young players so they're getting experience, because we're about to hit a gauntlet here coming up, and it starts with Troy. Troy is a good football team. They'll play Marshall tonight. That'll be a highly competitive game, but I expect to have an all-out battle with Troy next week. They're going to come in here and really try to come get that win, and we got to be ready. So we'll enjoy this tonight, but starting tomorrow, it's all about Troy.
Tom's parents come all the way from Australia and doesn't barely see the field. But he was named one of the captains. Did that go into it at all? And what was it like to see that?
Yeah, I thought he had a good week last week at Indiana. He hit some good balls, and so every week when we name the captains, you're either an older guy that's deserving or a guy that has a good performance. And so, I really didn't think about that. I'm glad I did it, because his parents were here. But Tom's doing a nice job for us, and when we lost Haggerty, I was a little worried about, what was that production going to look like, but he's doing a really good job for us.
Kind of sticking with special teams, Braden doesn't miss a kick today. How big was that for him?
Yeah, yeah, no, I don't worry about Braden. You know, Braden's a very mature guy. You know, he wanted to go out there and have a good day. I don't worry about him. You know, if he misses it, he misses it. You know, it is what it is. But he's had a good look in his eye on me too. And it was good that we got the one kick, field goal, you know, that he was able to go out there and knock it through and try to get that confidence back. But he doesn't lack confidence. You know, it's early in the season, and you know, maybe that might be the best thing to happen down the stretch when we need it the most, and we're counting on him. Hopefully next time he knocks it through, and maybe he learned a lot from the situation last week. I'm sure he did, but it was good to see him bounce back.
Anything else, Coach?
All right, guys, thank you.
Thank you.